Can we just start all over?
No.
Wait,
hell
why? It's
no.
good.
We're in,
Okay.
I'll edit this. Don't worry.
It's actually really good.
It'll take like 5 hours.
Hey, so
Dude, turn that fan up, dude. I'm sweating my balls off.
I'm actually getting hot right now, bro. Fuck,
all right, anyway,
man.
let me get back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Lines, brought to you by the KSN. I'm your host, Haytham Nekhle, with Mohsen Safi and Irfan Safi. Let Mohsen take it away.
How are you guys doing today, Monday after week 8?
Doing well. Usually going into a Monday, we feel kind of, sad that it's the work week, but your boy got a championship last night, so, feeling basically on cloud 9. It's been a while since I felt the feeling of being a champion.
I thought it's only been like 24 hours since I saw you. How are you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. No funerals this week, so doing pretty good, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm just riding a high after KXPFL.
We'll see, man. The week just started, so. All right, anyway, cut that off.
Sounds pretty ominous.
Anyways, let's get to KFL Live. Let's talk about the games this week. Our 9:30 game this week was LOB versus Warbred. LOB winning 15-2. A pretty good performance by LOB. They started the game off with Dean as a quarterback. Started a little difficult, I think they started the game off with the safety. But after that, Weezy got an interception. Or actually, I think it was Hassam who got the interception, lateraled it to Weezy, who ended up scoring the touchdown. As we know, Hassam's now playing the cornerback position. And then later on in the game, Dean connecting with his brother for a pretty nice, 20-yard touchdown into the end zone. What do you guys think of Dean's performance this week?
No, let's talk about that catch.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That toe touch touchdown right there. That was an amazing catch. We got a few good angles on that. That was a great catch. I mean, I know they were the favorites going into that game, but, they played really well there. So, I don't know if there's a QB controversy, but I feel like Hassam kind of shut that down.
Yeah, let's go to the interview with Hassam after the game with Hamza.
My original position, actually, is what happened today.
What's up, KXP? I'm here live with Hussam Abdullah. Hussam, you were doing good in the beginning of the season. I know it's been tough getting benched, but you've done a great job recovering, playing DB, playing wide receiver. How do you feel?
First of all, I didn't get benched.
You had an interception today.
I took myself out of the position. Wasn't it feeling it. I'm here to do whatever the team needs me to do. I love playing corner. That's my OG position. Showed out a little bit today, but got the team win, so that's okay.
My bad about that. I was fed wrong information by Haytham. Anyways, rest of the season, though. Now you guys get a bye week next week, and then the playoffs come up. How do you guys prepare this year?
Just staying focused, not letting all the noise outside, podcasting, people talking to mics, just trying to start something. Just trying to stay focused, man. Excited for the playoffs, and keep our heads down and try to get to work.
What's the key to this year that you guys haven't had in the past years?
AQ. And Hamza and Charles and a bunch of these other guys we scooped up, doing good for our team, helping us out where we needed it. So, yeah.
All right. Good luck the rest of the way, baby.
What's
up, KXP? Live with LOB's new QB1, Dean Elmosa. Dean, you got put into QB middle of the season. Are you sounding good so far? 30 minutes later.
Honestly, with 2-0 with that Mia QB, I played absolutely horrible. But when you're playing bad teams and we're athletic, it's very easy to get the job done. Going into playoffs, Hassam might step in. We don't know yet. It's me or Hassam. I want what the team needs to win a championship. If it's me at QB, it's me at QB. If it's Hassam at QB, it's Hassam at QB. We'll go from there. We don't know. This is a tryout game.
Well, he missed by 5 feet. LOB, always right there, They're always right there as contenders, haven't been able to get over the hump. What is different this year to allow you guys to do that?
Honestly, I feel every time you get in a championship, there's some sort of adversity. Last season, we had the rain. I think this year is our year. Imran likes to talk behind the walls and act like he's our friend, but we know he's snitching on the side. We know about that, Imran. So don't try to act like it didn't happen. Now you're on Blatt, and he told me. Don't try to act silly now. Pan the camera to him. He told me to, Imran. They're not your friend.
I know, but you're trying to back him up, bro.
So as you can see, even Dean during his interview, he's kind of questioning who's going to be the starting quarterback in the playoffs now. I know we talked a little bit about this last week, but at this time we didn't have great footage on Dean. After seeing this week's performance, what do you guys think? Who should be the starting quarterback?
Yeah, I think these guys are going to make it mystery every single week. You had Hassam saying he was going to be the starting quarterback. We had Matt Gills in the mix because we saw him last week playing 2 games at quarterback. And then Dean ended up getting the go. So it's kind of
Yeah, I think we're at the end of the season right now, and these guys are trying to play like having tryouts right now during the football season. They've struggled all season, and now they decide to go through 3 different quarterbacks within the last 2 weeks. If anything, I honestly think it's kind of disrespectful to the game and to the league, KFL, with the way they're managing this quarterback position.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think it's going to be a tough decision at the end of the day, and I feel bad for whichever quarterback has to take the spotlight in the playoffs, because if they lose that game, it's going to be all hell breaking loose for that team.
yeah.
And we can't forget about the 4th-string quarterback.
Who the hell is that?
Zauer.
Sour. Oh my God, that guy sucks. Dude.
Might as well pack it in.
Anything you guys want to say about Warbreads? It seems like, they had a new quarterback this week. It seemed like he was struggling a little bit.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah, no comment.
Go onwards to our second game.
No. We still gotta give Warbread some sort of like flowers, man. I'm just like, that guy sucks. Oh my God. Okay, coming back to it right now. If you're editing this in the future, Nathan.
No, we're good.
No,
We're definitely not good. What the hell?
We're definitely keeping that.
No, definitely not. So yeah, Warbread, yeah.
They got some good pieces, man. That running back, really good. I think. Omar.
Yeah, yo, that lineman, elite. Yo, let's just
Fudge, man.
Yo, let's just talk about LOB. Let's talk about Wheezy, man. That guy was hooping.
Yeah, Wheezy was.
He was hooping today.
He was hooping. He was getting them frustrated. He was wearing the Meta glasses. We actually have a really good clip we're gonna insert for you guys right here too to watch of the interception. All right, that was Wheezy getting.
So much
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, that was Wheezy getting an interception.
All right.
Yeah, but Warbread. Oh my God, Warbread.
There weren't many highlights, but there was one at the end of the game. Probably the biggest hit of the game of the week.
Yeah, it was a battle between Warbread and LOB. LOB got a few touchdowns to put the game away, but Warbread, I feel like they were there the whole time. It was anybody's game up until the very end, and yeah. LOB
Yeah, not
put that
really.
one
It was
away.
15-2, but yeah. Congrats,
Let's
LOB.
move on to our next game. Pally Gliders versus All Madden. This game was essentially a blowout. Pally Gliders winning 15-0. Another very dominant performance from potential Rookie of the Year, Muhammad Ayesh, who had a pretty stellar performance overall. Yahya Ayesh, the quarterback, also started the game very hot, ended up slowing down a little bit, but ended the game off with the 2-point conversion along with the touchdown to Muhammad Ayesh. What do you think about Pally Gliders so far this season, and like what there's, what's ahead for them?
Yeah, the Pally Gliders. I mean, we said it last week. They kind of tumbled out of the gate, kind of screwed over, but.
No, but honestly, just like watching the game. Well, first of all, let me clear something up. All right. These Pally Gliders guys were all up on my ass this past week on Sunday, thinking that I called them out or said something. All I said was it was going to be a snooze fest. And that was a snooze fest. And not because of you guys, but your opponents. That being said, Muhammad Ayesh, Rookie of the Year candidate, I think he's running away with it.
Wow. What do you think about that? Because I know you've been pretty big on Yusuf.
Yeah, I think the story of Yusuf is he's a bigger name, I feel like, in the league. He talks a lot more. Hamouda is kind of flying under the radar, but today, looking at his stats, like, wow, I am kind of blown away. And he's doing it with one less game, too, because they didn't play week 2.
Yeah, let's put up the stats for these two. Yusuf is having a pretty good season as well. But, Muhammad Ayesh, the first week and this past week, he was pretty, amazing. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, it just blows my mind that Yusuf goes out there and says that, he's like leading candidate in the Triple Crown. But every single number you look at, Muhammad Ayesh is just way ahead of him.
Yeah, but I feel like at the end of the day, too, you have to look at their impact as well. The plays that they make for their team in the big moments, I feel like that matters just as much as the stats. Anyone can go out there and get 300-something yards, but if you lose almost every game or, things like that, it kind of affects your legacy in the league. And I think Yusuf is coming up with those plays to put his team in the best position.
So are you questioning the quarterback play with K2 in the sense that Yusuf's not getting enough targets.
No, I just think they have. I think they have a little bit more targets on their team with Mustafa Akil, AZ-Tron, those guys compared to the Pally Gliders. I feel like Hamouda is probably their main target, let alone like their only target that Yahya looks for. Yeah, so I think that definitely does affect his stats compared.
Yeah.
We also had the head top in the Pally Glider game with the big guy who went up there and got that ball.
Yeah,
So-
that was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
So
what's
n-
his name?
Well, you know what? We're gonna find out this week.
We'll find out somehow, some way. That's a very passionate team overall. You know, Pally Gliders, they're a team to be reckoned with. I'd be worried to face them in the playoffs because, you know, at the end of the day, lock in, man.
It's funny, dude.
At the end of the day, you know, this team plays hard. They play with pride, and they're going to fight you to win, bro. Literally.
Literally.
Said literally. Oh
Literally.
my god. All right, let's go
Pause.
next.
Wait, but all Madden. We gotta.
Man, all Madden, I love
No,
this
the
team.
Sonic Ball had it, man. He had it. He had a third.
Mazik Ball?
What'd I say?
Bro.
Nah.
God, man, I
the-
can't be
his
doing
name-
these
no, his
names.
name's Maz, bro.
Maz Iqbal.
Dude,
It is Maz.
he had a 30-yard lead, and then Mr. Clean just came and wiped
Mr.
him
Clean,
out.
clean sweeped him, man.
Dude, how do you not score there, dude?
Swiffer Clean? Clean? Mr. Clean?
Mr. Clean wiped his with Maz Iqbal's touchdown.
All right.
There's a lot
Let's
of
go to
editing.
that. Let's go to the next game. GMOB versus Warriors. This game was a blowout. GMOB winning 24-0. Warriors struggled today. Their O-line and D-line couldn't really compete with the GMOBs. At the same time, Shaham had a couple interceptions. GMOB came up strong. You know, Issa started the game off pretty hot, and you know, Dylan Harper continued to play well.
Dylan Harper? What the fuck is this guy?
Isn't that a baseball player?
Back. Let's go. Come on.
We're so good.
Dylan Harper.
And Dylan Warden, he had a great performance once again. Thoughts on this game as a whole?
I think G-Mob absolutely swarmed the Warriors. Warriors are kind of known in this league and other leagues for their defensive line. And Aaron Johnson and company kind of, ate them for breakfast.
Whose
It
company?
was- what?
Who else?
Aaron Johnson and company.
Who else?
The other big guy with the fucking broccoli hair. I don't know their names. They just come here and they show up and they go to work.
No, that is true. They came to play. What did you think about Shaham's performance?
Man, I always want to, support him, and everyone talks about how he's got like one of the best spirals, one of the best like balls, including myself. But at the end of the day, I feel like, it's only like pretty doesn't win you games. And these guys have trouble going down the field and executing. And I feel like it's a lot of bad chemistry on that team. And also, they just ran into a juggernaut. And I called it last week. I didn't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. G-Mob, they came out strong swinging, and they were in the lead the whole game. They had fun, and they just, ran away with it. And Warriors, they needed to come out with that first punch, and they didn't. And that's when I just knew it was over.
Now, I don't want to spoil anything for future matchups or anything like that, but considering, G-Mob's a 2 seed and Desert Lions is a 1 seed, I mean, people talk about Zaid and, Imran being MVP. I don't think Dylan Warden is that far behind them. I personally feel like if they performed against Desert Lions and played well, he would have a chance of winning MVP.
Yeah, I definitely think Dylan is probably top 2 quarterbacks in the league, right behind Imran. Unfortunately, his best offensive weapon didn't really show up this year. He kind of made it known that they saw the podcast, and he showed up, and they showed out as well. Issa Hitchens also scored a touchdown in that game. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are watching the podcast.
Yeah, let's see what Issa had to say before the
What's
game.
up, KSN? I'm live here with Issa Hitchens. Issa, you've not been showing up, man. What's going on?
Hey man, I've had a few injuries here and there, but you know me, I show up when it matters. This is one of the important games. The other games we've had, we may not have shown our best, but I think we're actually going to start practicing now and taking it serious. So we're ready to go today. We treat every game the same. Every game is business. We come out there, we're going to play our best. Doesn't matter who it is. If it's DL, if it's Warriors, whoever it is, we're going to give it our best. And, next time we play DL, we're going to be ready. We're going to make sure it's not 5 games in a row.
We're going to have to get him on a podcast, too.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next game. Let's go to K2 versus Darkslide. This game was an absolute.
Dark slide. You can say that again. They suck, dude. They slid so far down the rankings, man.
Yeah, I mean, in general, this was a complete snooze fest for the whole game until the overtime. Neither team was really completing anything. Overtime came, and as you can see, Bass threw a couple like Hail Marys on 4th down, got a couple touchdowns, and that kind of ended the game. The last play of the game was this touchdown to Yusuf, where he basically mossed the defender. Let's go to Yusuf's interview after the game. I'm here with Yusuf of K2, who just came off a thrilling double overtime victory against Darkside. Started the first half pretty slow, 1 catch for 0 yards. Second half kind of blew up a little bit, but then in the OT, you got a couple touchdowns for you. Kind of tell me like what's been working for you guys this season. You guys winning 4 games.
One thing about our team is we struggle to get guys to come on time. As our team and as a captain, I got to fix that. So we really haven't seen our team's full potential because not everybody comes. But I think when we mesh together and not argue too much, like I know I got to stop that a little bit. I get a little frustrated. It's just passion with the game. But I think when we just trust each other, like when I tell Bassett I see a mismatch on me, like I haven't proved that there's not a single DB that can jump with me, and I'm gonna stand on that. So I just think just throw it. You see 5, just throw it.
Now this is your first season in the KFL, and there's been a lot of talks about who the rookie of the year will be. Give me your case. Why do you think you're the rookie of the year?
Honestly, I think I'm the rookie of the year because if you just go to the website, man, first 7 weeks, I almost have the triple crown. It's my first year in this league. I got unks like Shafiq, Ahmad, those guys are just like my role models, and I'm just trying to fit in those footsteps. And the results speak, man. Like, people just see when I play on the field.
All right, man. Congratulations on the victory.
Appreciate it. Hey, I'm going to be hooping soon. I'm going to be hooping with KXP. Stay tuned.
And K2 with the victory, 12-6. Any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, man. I think K2 definitely came out slow, lethargic. They weren't really expecting Darkside to put up a fight. But Darkside, I mean, they surprised a lot of people with their defense this week. They held K2's usual, good offense, not amazing offense, but they held them to a lot of stops. They got a lot of sacks on Bassett. Bassett, he looked kind of like a deer in headlights out there for the entire game until the very end, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was contending for most improved player, but, like, honestly, after watching that game, I just find it kind of hard to see. I don't think he sees the field as well as some of these other quarterbacks. Like, as you saw in overtime, all his, like, big plays were just him saying hike and just Hail Mary, someone's out there. And Mustafa, man, disgusting catch. And then, obviously, Yusuf, in my opinion, the runner-up of Rookie of the Year. With a disgusting touchdown in the touchdown as well. But yeah, Basso looked really poor today. But like, luckily for him, he ran into Darkside and not a better team.
Would you guys ever consider like a QB change for that team? What do you think about having like AZ Tron at quarterback versus like Basso?
I don't know. We saw AZ give it a go. Yeah. They were 0-2 until Basso came back.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they had 2 tough matchups. I think one of the games was against Desert Lions. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would say that Basso had an easier schedule.
I mean, he's struggling. But there's a difference between being decent and then being ass. And I think like we just keep with the starting quarterback coming from last year and then going to this year. He lost his job last year. He lost his team last year. This year he got his team and he's leading them. He just won a big game. But, so the way they're playing, if he can just manage and just trust his superstar wide receiver, they'll always be in a game.
I would agree. I think, go ahead.
What do we say? Big-time players make big-time plays. Rookie of the Year, Yusuf Saleh. When they need him most, he's there to catch that touchdown.
I always wonder, this K2 team, their defense is actually pretty solid, I'll say.
Yeah, they got some ballers on that side. So Yusuf Zucker, Yusuf Homer, a lot of people named Yusuf on that team apparently, but they got the job done.
Yeah, I personally feel like, if I was Bassett, I would just throw it up to, Mustafa or even Yusuf and just see what they can do, Just let their stars play and then kind of go from there.
Or AZ-Tron.
He did have one good play.
Forget him.
He had a nice catch.
He had a lot of stops on defense, too. I feel like people don't look at him on the defensive side of the ball, but rewatching that match in the highlights, he got a lot of tackles in the open field.
Any thoughts on Darkside? Another failed project by Hayther?
Hayther was not a part of this one, but
he was coaching.
Their quarterback is probably the best quarterback they've ever had.
Which isn't saying much.
It's not saying much, but he's also very good.
Progress. And honestly, I will say, last week we made the joke and I said, they're playing, probably the best they ever have. And then we laughed about it. But they did have one win. And they could have had this one. In overtime, they took the lead. and they could have won it, but obviously that grab by Mustafa was just disgusting, and they kind of just, that one was a backbreaker. But they had this one, it just slipped away.
Oh, speaking of having it, Will Unti also scored a touchdown in overtime. Unfortunately, it was surpassed by, Mustafa getting the, touchdown after, and then Yusuf putting the game away. But yeah, we should show that too.
Let's show that play real quick. Yeah, I definitely do agree. My only issue with the dark side quarterback is he does hold the ball a lot, which leads to a lot of sacks, a lot of negative plays. But anyways, let's get to our game of the week. Desert Lions versus Palestine Falcons. Now, this game started with a banger. 80-yard touchdown to Jabs. This was a pretty amazing play. Let's break it down a little bit. It seems like Jabs just got behind the defense. Tay just launched it up there, and boom, touchdown. Desert Lion was missing their safety, Omer Saber, so it seemed like, the backside of the zone was wide open. And then they went ahead and took the 2-point conversion. So they were up 8-0 to start the game. Had a turnover on the next possession for Desert Lion. Palestine Falcons got the ball back. Were not able to convert, and after that, it was straight Desert Lion all the way. What'd you guys think about that game?
Yeah, I think missing Omer Saber kind of hurt them. Jabs was able to get 2 actual big-time plays on them. I don't know how Shafiq caught up to him on the second one, but he chased him down 80 yards, and, he got him. Old man Shafiq.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. He full-on dived for that one and got it.
Dove.
Pretty impressive. Dive?
He dove.
I don't think he used to dive. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just... the game started out with that 80-yard touchdown, but like Desert Lions back-to-back champs coming into the game, they kind of need to warm up a little bit. Kind of probably took it a little easy, but the Falcons scored. Gave them a quick scare, but Imran comes up when you need him and just kind of won by 10 with 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah, there were a couple big plays when Palestinian Falcons were down 12-8. 2 big drops, one from Jabs, and then the next possession was by
Yusuf, Salah Mustafa.
Mustafa, yeah. 2 tough drops. If they score those possessions, they're up at least 2 going into the next possession for the 2-point conversion. So 2 big drops, which I think Tay put them right in the right spot. And then to respond, Imran had his 3rd touchdown of the game. All eyes were on Zayd and Imran. Let's go to their interviews before the game.
Saber here, multi-time MVP, leading the Desert Lions. How are you feeling about the season overall as a whole?
So far, it's fully successful right now. We're just working to get better no matter what. We're number 1, so, I think it's a successful season so far, but, the job's not finished.
Yeah, to start the season, the first couple weeks the offense was struggling. Zayd got on your guys' ass. He's like, we might need to change that quarterback. Ever since then, you've turned it up, and now you're in the MVP talks.
Yeah, of course, we started off the season pretty bad. We were pretty rusty, haven't played football in a while. But, we came back as a team together, and we came together, and, now we're successful. We talked it out, and we're a great team. We're still undefeated.
And now knowing Shafiq's on the roster as well, do you feel like every week you're on the hot seat, knowing that there's a backup quarterback that, at times can even look better than the starting quarterback?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I got to play the best. This is a job. If I do bad, next one's up, next man up. So, it's part of the job.
Quite the short leash for a multi-time MVP, I will say.
Yeah.
Times?
Yeah.
I'm here with Zayd, former 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Now, heading the defense of the Desert Lions with 17 sacks on the season. What's been working for you this season?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I think it's a team sport. It's a team game. My defensive line makes it a whole lot easier for me. All the guys on the back of the ball, just accountability. And if I'm not making the play, someone else is. So I got the sacks, but it's a team effort. And so I think the whole team got a sack.
Now you already have the record for sacks in the KFL with 17. I heard you're trying to get it up to like 20 by the end of the year, putting you kind of in the MVP race. Now, what are your thoughts, just considering that you are part of the MVP race?
Honestly, it feels good. It sounds nice. It's a privilege. There's a lot of guys here that work really, really hard to come out here every single week and lay it out and try to get a win. So just being in that conversation, it's an honor. But at the end of the day, what's going to matter is who's taking home the chip. So it's really cool and everything, but we have a much bigger thing on our minds. So it's cool, but yeah.
There were a lot of reports after week 2 that you got on the offense's ass. And ever since then, the offense has been playing a lot better. Tell me more about your leadership on this team, because a few years ago, you were just Rafi's henchman. Now you're like one of the defensive leaders. I would even say the team leader on this team.
Yeah. Once again, it sounds really nice. It's an honor. You even putting me in that category or keeping me into consideration. Listen, at the end of the day, all great teams, there's going to be adversity. There's going to be back and forth. There's going to be guys that are going to hold each other accountable. And Brady and Belichick, think about that, right? They won 7 Super Bowls together. You don't think there was any backlash or anything like that in their locker room? I'm sure there is. At the end of the day, every single person on this team wants the best for each and every single one of us. So accountability, and then that's it. Just going out there and putting on our best effort and just trying to get a win.
Best of luck in the rest of the season.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So now watching this game, Zayd had maybe 2 sacks that game.
Yeah, put him at 19 for the year.
Put him at 19 sacks for the year. Imran also had his own pair of sacks, but at the same time, he also had 3 touchdowns. MVP debate, what are we leaning at right now?
I think the MVP goes to Imran, clearly. He also had 2 sacks in that game, but he put the team on his back as quarterback. He led that team to that victory. While the Palestine Falcons, their offensive line did a pretty good job, I feel like, of moving Zayd away from their quarterback. Unfortunately for the Falcons, they also have on the other side of the line and Double A coming down the middle. So you got to really pick your poison when it comes to them.
Yeah, honestly, I love my guy Zayd. He's probably leading the votes in Depoy, but I think the MVP case is very difficult, especially when you have 2 teammates along with you that are top 10 in sacks. Double A and are also they're pretty high up with the sacks. So it's just he's benefiting off of their rush as well, and they're benefiting off him. I'm gonna say really good D line, but again, football's a team sport, and his numbers are great, but you can't really question the quarterback position.
It was a big game. It was an emotional game, it felt like, for Zayd. We saw him, get into Big Mo's face, the right tackle. There was an unfortunate situation that happened. He was leaning over him, and Zayd was trying to get up. Fortunately, he got stuck on him, and Zayd kind of blew up in his face. But I feel like passion or whatever, what's the word for it?
Yeah, honestly, I just feel, Palestine Falcons went up against, the champs, and they weren't backing down. They didn't care who was lined up against them, who they were facing. So it's definitely respectable to see, the linemen stepping up for their team and, not being scared of the sack leader.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll say about Palestine Falcons. Same thing I kind of said about Pally Gliders. This isn't a team I would want to face in the playoffs. They're a team that'll fight. They're a team that'll really want to win. They're very passionate about it. And they got some talented players on that team. It's going to be very difficult.
And when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about who makes big plays at the right time. I think they got the talent. A lot of these teams have the talent. They just got to be able to put it together when it matters in the playoffs.
Speaking of putting it together where it matters, Omar Hakwati getting the interception at the end of the game to seal the deal, and then getting tackled in the on the sideline by Jib. That was kind of out of character for him. He apologized to him after the game. They shook up, made it nice. And now he thinks he's not going to get any highlights now from the camera crew from that outburst. Also, that velvet do-rag he was wearing. It's phenomenal.
Let's find a couple videos and just throw them on right here, just so make him smile.
Feel better.
That guy is beautiful, man.
He's a good-looking dude.
MashaAllah.
All right, another thing to talk about, Shafiq. Pretty amazing performance. He had about 8 catches for 80 yards and a couple touchdowns. Coming on for Offensive Player of the Year. What do you guys think?
He's probably leading. I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but again, this is the same. For me, it's the same situation with Zayd. He just lined up next to Omar, and then Kiwi. Kiwi wasn't there this time, but again, they're just loaded across the board. It was Shared there this week.
Yeah, he also scored a touchdown.
Yeah, Shared did score
exactly.
a touchdown.
So it's just a lot of talent, and again, he's benefiting off all that talent around him. Granted, nothing to take away from his numbers, great numbers, but. I don't think you take them off the team, they're still performing.
Anyone on their team, any wide receiver they have, any tight end is an all-star on any other team. So it's kind of hard, kind of difficult to, put those guys in those positions of number 1 in the league when you got Samir, Sheriar, Omar, Kiwi, Shafiq. Those are some big names, and, I don't know if we can give him Opoy just off that.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Ali.
And Ali, who is a all-star tight end. Ali Hakwati.
Is he the only tight end in the league?
No, Samir is on the same team.
Yeah, I will see. And then also to give props to Jabs, man. He had over 160 yards.
Jabs put the team on his back. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough, but, he is the captain. He showed why he's the captain. He tried to will them to victory, but unfortunately, he was against the best team in the league, Desert Lions.
Yeah. So that kind of wraps up our recap for Week 8. Now looking ahead towards Week 9, Week 9 is a seeding week, meaning you end up facing a team that's around your same positioning. So this is kind of the schedule for Week 9. The first game we have is Warbred versus Warriors. The second game we have is All Madden versus K2. The third game is Darkside versus Gliders. And then the fourth game is Pack Lions versus Palestine Falcons.
Wow.
What game are you guys looking forward to?
None of them, dude. That sucks.
Man, we're all looking forward to that
G-Mob and D-Lions, yeah.
game. Like I said, there's still a lot on the line, you know. MVP still on the line, OPOY still on the line. I still think, you know, that game will matter for that.
Yeah, let me see Gliders and Darkside, honestly. Let me see Muhammad Aish get me 2 more touchdowns and seal the deal for Rookie of the Year. Giving you guys another shout out. For some reason, you guys were offended, so I just had to do that, throw that in there. But yeah, that's the game I'll look out for.
Yeah, no, we love the Gliders here. Big fans of them. All the Aishes, every one of those guys. Good fighters, good players, better men. They're playing Darkside. I think in order for Hamoudeh Aish to secure Rookie of the Year, they are going to have to win this game. If they lose this game, get bounced out of the playoffs, I don't see why, you know, Yusuf. I think the whole story between them is Yusuf's the bigger name. He talks more. His stats, you know, show more. And then Muhammad Aish, he's kind of just there. He does his stuff. He shows up. He plays his game. Doesn't talk much. And you know, everyone thinks Yusuf's going to be Rookie of the Year because of that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think for me, the game between Palestine Falcons and Pack Lions will be a pretty good one, actually. Both teams are fighting for their life. Both teams need to get this win to make the playoffs, so it should be an interesting game overall.
Yeah, I got the Falcons on that one.
I do as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Pack Lions, we haven't really seen much of them this year. I'm not sure why. I think there were some forfeits. There were some, you know, teams that didn't want to play against them. Fortunately, they only have 1 win, so you know, it's a kind of like a do or die for them as well. I think they need other teams to lose as well to, you know, skirt themselves back into playoff contention. But it was another off year for them, unfortunately.
I think they just switch around a lot of pieces. The one thing you notice about KFL is the teams that stay the most consistent are the ones that play together as often as possible, or at least keep the same core. So that's one big key takeaway. And then if you have forfeits and missed weeks, it's just difficult to build chemistry.
Yeah, usually you see like the juggernauts of the league. They've been together for a while. Desert Lions, LOB, used to be all Madden until they got hit by some injuries. And K2, I mean, they have their core. They've only been in the league for 1 year, but they still have their like same core.
Yeah, a couple years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is all for KFL Live. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your podcast to bring your attention to one of our premier sponsors, Bamboo Boba. To explain a little bit about that, send you to my co-host, Irfan Safi.
Bamboo Boba. From your daily boba run to your biggest celebration, Bamboo Boba serves handcrafted drinks, fresh desserts, and unforgettable catering experiences. For all your boba needs, please visit Bamboo Boba. We edit that part out. Why'd you say KFL Live?
That's
Inside the Lines.
No, but that's our segment, KFL Live.
No.
Yeah, but we didn't announce it, dude.
Now we're gonna.
This fucking
Now we're
cup
gonna say
isn't
welcome
even
back
good.
to Inside the